Good morning. Hola, hola. Man, it's probably gonna be a interesting, weird stream because of what JLR Investigates has uncovered. So we're gonna check some of that out in a bit here with regards to Hannah Kobayashi and the Venmo payments. And we'll talk a little bit too about the judge and the cop that killed the judge. And I have a couple of various different stories. If we get to it, we get to it. If not, that's fine. Save it for another time. But I hope you guys are doing good. She's still missing. The father is deceased. We talked about that. And just crazy. And the chase that we covered yesterday, the guy, last I checked, that guy was in critical condition. That guy that pulled out two guns on the cops and decided to go Rambo, Terminator, Matrix, GTA, whatever you want to call it. Last I checked, he was in critical condition. So we'll see if we can find an update for that today as well. Now, I guess let's start with Hannah. We covered this yesterday, the girl that's still missing. And twist and hunt for missing Hannah Kobayashi as cops try to track man and woman she paid Venmo app hours after missing her LAX flight. Okay, so if you go to her Venmo, I pulled up her Venmo. I can't stand Venmo. I could barely even log in. I don't use Venmo. I could barely even log in. I had to use my bank account because my phone number is outdated on there, so I had to get my bank account to log in. But these are the two Venmo payments that they're talking about. 17 days ago, so today's the 27th, right? What's time March 17th? So we got the 10th. I should be able to do that in my head, but the 10th, November 10th. And she was first kind of reported, she landed, let me see, was it November 9th? Oh no, 8th, yeah, November 8th, she landed in LAX. And so after she landed and decided not to take her flight, then we have these Venmo payments. It's odd, and it's going to get weirder because JLR Investigates interviewed this guy, Jonathan Taylor. And it's weird. I only listened to a few minutes, and I was like, pause. Okay, we're going to watch and listen to this together. He interviewed Jonathan Taylor. And the cops, apparently, according to the Daily Mail, they're trying to find out and track this guy. Jonathan Taylor. JLR got him. What? Susie, thank you so much for the 50. Thank you so much. Says have a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you. That's really, really kind of you. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. So, okay. So these Venmo payments, 17 days ago on the 10th, one of them it has like a heart. Oh no, is that an arrow? Let's look closer. It's like a bow and arrow, crossbow. And then after that, reading, some type of reading, right? I don't know, some tarot cards, some type of magical stuff, or the, spiritual, maybe the spiritual awakening reading. So let's jump to JLR because I want to listen to this and make sure you check out his channel, subscribe. I'll put the link to his channel in the description, but you could also just type it out. And I think I'm going to put it on a smaller screen. Okay. This is the guy, Jonathan. This is like weird, bro.
Hello.
Okay, here we go.
Good morning. Hello, good morning. Good morning, Jonathan. How are you? JLR Investigates. Thank you for willing to do this interview. I know that you just reached out to me a few days ago wanting to set the record straight, get your side of the story when it comes to Hannah Kobayashi. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
So, Jonathan, your name is being circulated out there. The media actually put out an article today, saying that cops are trying to track down the individuals that Hannah sent a Venmo payment to prior to her getting off the plane on November 8th. And your name is on there. Can you explain that and want to share what that is all about?
Okay, so I'm talking to this dude in South Africa, and he used my Venmo.
Okay, so pause right there for a second, all right? Because I'm trying to absorb this and take this in. So he's saying that he was talking to some dude in South Africa, and that I'm not sure why this person would allow this person in Africa to use their Venmo.
And I suffer from a brain injury, and I wasn't thinking straight. So he hold on one second.
Sure.
Let me turn down my TV. Okay, and so I gave him my Venmo, and then all of a sudden I get this money transfer from Hannah.
Wow.
And Hannah came to this same guy, and then all of a sudden, I get the same money transfer because she came to him for help, I guess, for a spiritual reading or that. I don't know anything about her, never met her.
Okay, so you're from where? Where do you live?
I live in DeSoto, Texas.
Texas. I know that you said to me you are handicapped.
Yes.
Do you mind sharing a little bit about that? What's going on?
I fell 13 feet and hit concrete.
Wow.
I was at work, and I've been paralyzed for 7 years, and I'm not getting any kind of rehab.
So you basically, can you leave your house, or do you leave your house? Do you need help with other people? Can you move around on your own?
No, I can't. I have to have caregivers that my workers' comp pays for, but they stopped paying for my rehab.
Gotcha. So at the time that you got this Venmo payment from Hannah, you were in Texas inside. You're there at your home there?
Yes.
So let's go back to this person from Africa. What is that person's name?
I think his name is pronounced like Baoli.
Baoli.
Yeah.
But how did this person from Africa reach out to you? I don't like. Can you describe the chain of events? Like, how did they reach you?
He said that he had a dream that my number was revealed to him.
When did he? What date was that?
Well.
I think it was like back in July.
Okay, so this guy reached out to you back in July.
Yes.
Okay, so then fast forward to what did he ask for? Like, when did he ask for your Venmo account? Like, I'm a little confused here. Like, what did you give him his your passcode?
No, just my name. My Venmo tag.
for your name for Venmo?
Yeah.
Interesting. For like, what was he implying? Like he was going to send you money? Like what? Like why did he want your
He's
Venmo?
just saying that one of his clients wants to send him money through Venmo.
So it kind of when I'm thinking about that, you know, I've heard these things. I don't know if you heard these ever, Nigerian 419 scams, and it's people from Africa that try to solicit whatever. They try to lure people to meet them, catfish them.
Yeah.
Try to get some information as far as they want your banking information, you know, for them to say either they have payments for you or you could send them money for as them pretending they're a female or male, whatever. Is that kind of like the situation here? Is this guy like, was he trying to get in a relationship with you? What's going on?
Right.
He claims that he's a spiritual advisor, and he does readings for people. And but I'm thinking it's all scams.
Wow.
So you gave him your Venmo. When was that? Like, when was that?
Let me.
So this is very, very weird. We're gonna keep going, but the Venmo thing, I'm still trying to understand. So he gave him his Venmo, like his or whatever. And what, the scammer person had Hannah send the money to him. So what, it's not tied back to the reading guy, I guess? But then what? I mean, Jonathan, I'm sure he would want Jonathan to send him that money back somehow. Or keep part of the money and then send me the rest or something. It's really weird. So she really was looking into some type of spiritual. I wonder if that's the spiritual awakening she was talking about. Still weird. Oh, JLR clears up eventually? Okay.
Oh, you're looking at the dates or the correspondence?
Yeah.
But like, who is he? Did you meet him through Facebook, on Twitter? Like, where did you meet this person?
I think it was Facebook, but he sent me a message. First, I was talking to a dude that's on Facebook. His name is Tarot Reader. But
Tarot Reader.
yeah, and he, I saw the signs of all catfishing and everything, and so I stopped. Then all of a sudden, I get this message saying, saying that you're having struggles with payments, and I'm here to help. Which actually I am having struggles. Being paralyzed, only getting $280 a week. It's
So the way, so is he offering his service in return? You have to pay him for a reading yourself, or like, why would he for that?
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to understand this. It's to me, it's confusing. To be honest, that's why I'm asking. It's all. So just basically, is back in the summer, you met with this guy online from Africa, and he was a reader, spiritual reader, identifies as a reader, and then he reaches out to you. You guys, I don't know, correspond, and then he's asking for your Venmo account.
Yes.
Did he take money out of there at the time? At all? Or did you ever send him money?
No.
Did you ever send him money?
No, I gave him. Hold on.
What's his Venmo name? Like what's his Venmo account? Like what does he go by?
He goes. At first, he was going through Cash App, but he was just giving me different Cash App names, and hold on, let me.
You know some of those names? Because maybe we could go try to find him and find out, what's going on. Or I would, look around.
I'm actually trying to get his actual address.
Nice.
So I'm still talking to him and saying that, hey, I'm going to be going to travel to your country to actually give you the money, because he's saying that I expect him to pay all of his money back. I said, well, I'm going to go to South Africa and hand you it, me personally. But I'm actually trying to get his actual address, so the feds can get him.
Was he asking for money for him to come to the United States? Asking you for money? At all? No. All right, so the money was related to a spiritual reading, a reading.
Yes.
Do you know, can you read off, like, what his Venmo name is, what he goes by, or Cash App names?
Hold on 1 second.
If you guys could help me out with the like button too. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. JB, thank you for the 22 months. Happy Thanksgiving. Mel, you going to Mama's? Yes, I am. Thanksgiving chat.
I'm sorry?
That Hannah went messing around November, 9th.
She got off the plane on the evening of the 8th. Because, there's a Daily Mail article out today with your name in it, and it's saying that, she sent you around the evening of the 9th, Venmo payment for a reading. It said for a reading. And that's where, your name is circulating around. That's why you reached out to me. People want to know, who are you?
So this is what JLR is referencing to. This just came out this morning, I think, or today. One was, so the family revealed that on November 9th, the day after she was meant to arrive in New York, she made 2 payments using Venmo. One was at 6:25 p.m. to a person called Veronica Almendarez for an unknown amount. That's what I'm wondering too, what the amounts were. Maybe this guy will say that at some point. And then the second was made then less than an hour later to someone called Jonathan Taylor, and that's who JLR is talking to, also for an undisclosed amount, with the description only saying reading.
Are you involved in any way?
Oh, no.
You've never met or ever talked to Hannah ever?
Never.
So, there was sharing screenshots or some things that you were saying that you were hacked by this African guy.
Yeah.
So when were you hacked? What exactly, when do you know you were hacked?
When I started putting pieces together about Hannah missing.
What, how did you find out Hannah was missing?
When I started getting all these like messages on TikTok saying, "Where's Hannah?" I was just like, "Who the hell is this Hannah chick? I never met her. I don't know anything about her."
And they were reaching out to you because of the Venmo, seeing the Venmo transfer of money.
So, all right, on November 9th, saying still there. It says, "Send me your Venmo. My clients wants to send me money." And then it said $20 from mid-order to Venmo and confirm it. And so I have the 25. And so I would send Ancestors bank account for you. You will send it. But he wants to try to do it through Bitcoin. And so,
The Bitcoin?
So this is something you got on the 9th yourself about sending money, 25, and they wanted you to send it Bitcoin?
yeah.
Was this before the Venmo payment that Hannah sent to your account?
No, this is after.
After?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm still confused. That's why I'm and this is you to clarify and set the record straight of what's going on. I'm sure the viewers will also be confused by all this, but I kind of get what you're saying. You're pretty much saying that you've been hacked or your account has been hacked.
Yeah.
By somebody from possibly Africa that you were communicating with before.
Yeah, South Africa.
What makes you think that person from South Africa hacked into your Venmo?
Well, he didn't really hack into my Venmo. He just got my name. I actually got into my account and started taking money out.
Oh, what?
I just sent him my Venmo name.
So you had money stolen from your Venmo account?
Yeah.
How much?
Not actually stolen. I was just giving him money.
How much? How much did have you given?
Probably over $1,000.
Wow.
Do you mind if I ask why?
Because I was actually looking for some spiritual help as well.
Were you getting the spiritual help that when you were paying?
No.
So yeah, this definitely seems like some type of scam situation. It's really, really interesting. I'm just thinking like, okay, so this guy was already in contact with this guy from Africa, and he's paying supposedly for some type of spiritual help. Said he spent over $1,000 already, but now I guess he's involving this guy somehow with his client, aka Hannah, if I'm understanding it right. And this guy had Hannah send $25. I'm surprised, just $25 over to this guy's Venmo, and then he wanted this guy to send it back to him in Bitcoin, I guess. Weird. And then he said that this guy somehow, I don't know, maybe it sounds like he had access to his account. Happy birthday, SW4x4. Thank you so much for your support. I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you have a great day. It's a weekend. I mean, great week. Great birthday. Southern ISH, thank you for the month membership. Happy Thanksgiving. Love your content. Thank you. Erms, thank you for the 10 months. Mel always has the good stuff. Let's hit the like button, y'all. Thank you. Yeah, if you guys could hit the like button. Party of one, thank you for the 2 months. Happy holidays, Mel. Happy holidays. So, really weird situation. Some type of African, allegedly some type of African scammer. A lot of people, those people target a lot of vulnerable people going through stuff, people dealing with stuff. And this guy that we're listening to, again, if you missed the beginning of the interview, this is on JLR Investigates channel. He has some type of brain damage or brain injury. So that's why he's talking the way he talks. So I'm trying to understand it. And they say JLR, and obviously JLR is trying to, make it digestible or decipher it too. Really, really odd situation. I mean, I clearly this woman was looking for some type of help. That's why it almost goes into the twin flames things too. Like, did she run into somebody else? If this African scammer is in Africa, then he probably didn't do anything to her, I guess. I don't know where he led her to. Did he have her meet with somebody he knows? Or did she continue on her journey and meet somebody else? Somebody else took advantage of her? It's crazy.
It's all scams.
Yeah.
And I'm pissed.
So, multiple payments totaling $1,000 that you sent to someone in Africa.
Yeah.
Can I ask why, first time that you...
That's the thing, Mustard, too. I think this guy was a little bit reluctant, maybe embarrassed to say. Mustard said no one wants to admit that they were scammed, let alone multiple times. That's what I think, too. I think he was reluctant to say it. And these people would take advantage of anybody. Maybe they see this guy that maybe he's struggling with something and he has brain damage or brain injury. They'll take advantage of anybody. Anybody they can get their hands on. Well, somebody in the chat said, let me see this. Hypnotizes, look up Bitcoin wallet scam. I have to check that out. Venmo's US only. Oh, so he's not in Africa. Interesting. US only. What's going on?
You sent the payment that you just, when you didn't get a spiritual reading, you just could, why didn't you just stop and stop sending any money instead of continuing to send money?
Damn.
It's true. Yeah, it is only, it says here, yes, Venmo is only available in the United States and its territories. So how did he send the money to this guy? Through Venmo. Unless the guy really is in the United States, or maybe there's some type of, I don't know. He has some type of way to deposit the money.
Manipulated. And, he was all giving, telling me to trust him.
Mm.
And, plus me having a brain injury, I can't really comprehend that much.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And I appreciate your willingness to, speak here and share what's going on. So the way I'm thinking is that someone overtook your account some way, somehow, and then used that account to maybe communicate with Hannah or talk to Hannah, or was communicating with Hannah at some point and convinced Hannah to send money to your account. Because she sent money to your account.
You froze up a little.
Yeah, she sent money to your account. So, why and how? Who is this person?
A scammer. That's
really odd. Tim, thank you for the 10, man. Hope you're doing good. Happy holidays. I wonder if Hannah being scammed led her down a downward spiral that resulted in her doing actions or meeting people with she wouldn't normally meet. It's very odd. Yeah, I mean, she said, wasn't one of those texts that she said, all her money's gone or something? Look at here. One of the text messages said, same type of story as this guy, actually. I got hacked yesterday. Hacked by who? Stripped of my identity. I I can't fly. I don't know, man. This is just so freaking odd.
Do you think this scammer had anything to do with her disappearance?
I have no idea.
Besides the person saying to you that they're from Africa, what makes you think they're in Africa for sure? Could they be in the United States?
He says that he's from South Africa.
Mm.
And you said his name is Baoli?
Yeah.
Did he ever provide a picture, an age, occupation, last name?
I just think.
$25 was a test payment, I'm sure, but yeah,
He eventually
maybe.
sends me a pic. I'll show you guys after this interview.
And I think the picture that he's talking about is going to come up. Mustard Mama, I think, sent it to me, and I downloaded it because I was like, "What the f is this? Holy crap!" I think that's the picture that JLR is going to show. Wow. Scammers make a lot of money, man. They make a killing, and they take advantage of a lot of people, and people fall for it, you know? Darcy, thank you for the 5. Says Cash App and Venmo are not in Africa. Oh, interesting, because he did mention Cash App, too. He did mention there was some type of Cash App transactions. So is this guy really even in Africa? Is he just lying? Is he somewhere in the United States, but wants to throw people off? Yeah, I'm in Africa. You know?
What are you looking on your screen? Or your Venmo payments? Correspondence?
I'm looking at all the pictures. And
How'd you get paralyzed? I think you said before, I forget, so just remind me.
yeah, I
You fell? Huh?
was at work, and I clean out hazardous materials out of tanks. And I was cleaning out a gas trailer, and I stepped on the tank wrong, and I rolled my ankle, and I hurt so bad it made me faint. So I don't know how I landed or anything.
Will you ever be able to walk again?
If I had the right therapy and the right people to do it,
How old are you?
yeah, they're awesome. I'm 36.
36. Hannah is 30. She'll be 31, I believe, in December.
So let me save.
Has
Sure, Gina.
law enforcement reached out to you? The family of Hannah reach out to you?
No,
Nobody.
no, just a whole bunch of people on TikTok and ask me, "Where's Hannah? Where's Hannah?" I said, "I don't know."
How did you reach out to me? What made you reach out to me? How did you know to reach out to me?
I think you reached out to me.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I did. Or yeah, I did. Actually, I sent you a message on one of your comments, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because your name, yeah, I saw the Venmo payment, and then I'm just wondering, because there's another one, too. There's another name also around the same time she sent a Venmo payment. You know, and that's a clue, right? People would think that's a clue. I mean, that's like, hey, who is...
I believe this is him, because I just sent you a picture.
Okay, yeah, I'll take a look at it.
And Denise in the chat is asking if you have, can VPNs make apps accessible in other countries? I believe they can. I'm pretty sure they can. You set the location and things you normally wouldn't have access to, you do. But I don't know how Venmo works in other, like if you did a VPN and you're in another country, still you'd have to put in your bank information, you know, and so it would have to be some type of US bank account, I would think. Unless he's having somebody take the money out and then Western Union it. And like somebody said, maybe it was a test payment. So after she did the test payment, okay, now you're going to send me a Western Union. Oh, this guy could literally be in the US. There's a lot of sophisticated scams out there too. So I got a call the other day. They were like, "Oh, you have this amount on your credit cards. Do you wanna look for a loan?" I'm like, "No, I'm not really interested." "Oh, why don't you just check it out? It's a low percentage." And so she transferred me, and the other person that called, the way they were talking was just weird to me. Something felt off about them, and I don't know. I just hung up on them. But the scams have gotten very sophisticated, you know, whether it's you're getting a phone call. I remember one time my mother got a call and they were like, "Oh, you have a virus in your computer." I was like, "No, Ma." She called me. She's like, "What do you think?" I was like, "No." My mother even got a call not too long ago. Somebody saying, "Oh, this is your child. I need help, but I lost my phone or something." I was like, "Nah, Ma, stop me." There's all kinds of stuff out there. Email phishing, you know what I'm saying? I get all the time. I get these supposed emails from Facebook. "Oh, you have to log in and put your password here or else you lose your account in 24 hours. Or I get a lot of fake. They want to take your account, get your information. You get random calls too. "Hey, this is with this company," or whatever. My insurance company called me the other day, but they're actually legit. Like while I was on the phone, I reverse looked the phone number. I was like, "Oh, okay, it's legit."
When I'm done here, so never met Hannah, never communicated with Hannah, never been to California.
Never been.
You're in Texas, handicapped, paralyzed. What's that?
It's my hand, so I can show you. Like I'm trying to move my hand.
Oh, is it
What would
missing
you like to
fingers?
say to everyone out there?
I would like to say, I'm very sorry that she's missing, but I have no connections to where she's at, who she's with, who took her, and I pretty much had to put my TikTok on private.
Oh, wow.
For all the people that's commenting, just stop all the comments. So I don't know where she said that.
If the police reach out to you, if the police reach out to you, will you fully cooperate?
Yeah. Well, my phone is. I don't have the money to turn it on.
So you don't have a phone right now?
No, I'm just pretty much talking through Wi-Fi.
Talking through Wi-Fi. God, what, like on a computer?
No, my cell phone.
Cell phone. Oh, okay. Cell phone. You don't have the phone money to pay for the phone service.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we'll just say around the 8th or around the 9th. I mean, do you have witnesses that say that you were there at your house?
Yeah.
You know, like an alibi. Because some people might say, "Hey, what about his alibi? What about his alibi? What would be your alibi?"
As I was here at my house I live in a group home, and I have caregivers here, and they're saying that I was here.
Got you. Have you considered like maybe filing a police report against the hacker or against the African guy? Maybe they could track down, because that person might be a key here to finding Hannah. Whoever this person is that she sent the payment to which went through your account. She was obviously communicating with me.
I tried calling the police here, and they said that it was a scam, and they was all asking me, because I told them like a whole bunch of people are on TikTok, and so, well, just delete all the names off it or report them. And I asked them, so are you aware of a missing woman named Hannah that's in California? They said, no, they're not aware of it. And so pretty much they didn't. I did call the police here.
Because of the people leaving messages to TikTok, or you just didn't know what was going on, you just decided to call the police?
Yes.
And then they're telling you it's a scam. That
Yeah.
Will they investigate? Did they say anything about investigating?
No.
I don't think cops are gonna really take that, care about that. Unless the specific investigators, but I don't think cops are really gonna like. B. Tim, thank you for the 10, JLR. You never say what's your alibi. You let the guy explain what he's been doing the day before and chill and relax away. Saying alibi puts the guy in a guard. That's true. That probably would. What's your alibi? Island Thrifts, thank you for the 10 as well. Been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. Happy Thanksgiving. There's all kinds of shit, all kinds of scams, all kinds of ways people trying to take your money and stuff. You know?
Well, I appreciate you coming on. Hopefully, I'll just give you my opinion here. I don't think you're involved whatsoever. Obviously, we communicated before we did this interview here, and, you clearly say you're handicapped. I can see that. You're explaining the situation. It's to people, I believe, because I've been reading the threads and I've been seeing the comments about you. It's confusing because they're like, he's claiming he was hacked. Who is he? Who's this Jonathan guy? Who's this guy that she sent money to? Maybe she sent money to the account by accident. Is that a possibility?
Yeah, probably just a scammer scamming somebody else.
But I wonder why she was trying to get a reading.
I'm asking that same question because have you seen the show called The Vikings?
I have not.
Like?
Well, I believe, and also I believe in reincarnation. That I'm somebody from a different life. Back in the Viking eras. I am Scandinavian.
Oh.
And but I'm not for sure how much percentage, but I do know that my dad is 37%. And everything in that show has happened to me. Like this guy, he went through. This guy that was paralyzed, and his name was Ivor the Boneless, and he went to this seer, which is pretty much a witch, and he went for spiritual work, and he ended up walking. Well, he said, people might think I'm crazy. I'm not. I was just a spiritual awake. like a eye opener. And
Jonathan, like when this hacker, this individual that was going to give you some readings, what would the readings be centered about? Like what type of topic?
Let's say like about like money.
About money.
Yeah. I think his last name is Bobby Lee.
Spell that. Can you spell that?
Babaele. Because this is his Gmail. Babaele 382@gmail.com.
Okay, I'll see what I can find on that to try to track this individual down. Obviously, it appears that Hannah was trying to get a reading through this individual, or. But you know what? It's interesting because she's claimed via text, possibly afterward, that she lost all her money and everything like that. I'm wondering if she got scammed through scammers.
Yeah.
Like you got scammed.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry this happened to you. We'll continue to talk and everything like that. I'm going to share this out, what you're saying and everything like that. And no one should be harassing you whatsoever. No one should be, threatening you and bothering you. You claim you're not involved. That's what you claim here, but I'm sorry that people are harassing you. It's a missing female, and people want to answer.
Shit happens.
Stay optimistic, and if there's any information you don't want to share, or any additional anything you want to talk about, just let me know.
Yes, sir.
Be safe out there, Jonathan. Thank you.
You too as well.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Okay,
So
wow.
let's talk. Hold on. Let me get this photograph. He sent me the photograph of the individual. I'm going to get the photograph. And here is the individual right here.
There it is.
So this individual here, he claims hacked into his Venmo. And this is possibly the person that Hannah was speaking to. Who is this guy? Hopefully the FBI, hopefully law enforcement.
He's probably watching this stuff like, oh, shit.
Looks into this. Today, the Daily Mail put in that we knew about Jonathan. I'm sure some of you guys know that have been following his case, but today, the Daily Mail, I'll show it to you, put out a LA
advisor, and she said it's him in person and realized she got scammed. He's not the person he said he was. She essentially got catfished. And
there could be some sort of ring out there where they lure people or meeting people in cities or something, and then they end up not being that, like a catfish.
Yeah. And
it just took her over the edge, and maybe something went haywire at that point.
All right. Really, really, really freaking weird. So that's JLR. I'll put the link in the description if you want to see that uninterrupted. All right. So that's one of the latest things that is really bizarre. And yesterday too, when we were looking, there's that one message. I want to see what I can do. I need some help getting there. Was definitely intercepted. Hotel room is still active. Haven't slept in days. I got tricked pretty much into giving away all my funds. Holy crap. I wonder if it's the same guy. I got hacked, stripped of my identity, I can't fly. I got tricked pretty much into giving away all my funds. I wonder if it was the same dude. Send me your money. Okay, you send me that, 25. Where did the rest of the money go? They're gonna need to get access to her accounts. I've been on the streets. You have no money, I have a little left. I want to just get on a bus and go, and whatever and go straight to Redwoods. But I haven't slept well for days. I might go to a homeless shelter. So obviously they should check all the homeless shelters around. Maybe have some people canvassing Redwoods. Matrix underworld shit, girl. This is way beyond me. There's something still clearly off with this, with Hannah too, though, I think, you know? Like she broke or had some type of mental, I don't know, break. Did you get catfished by some dude you were talking to on the internet? No, we met. So she said we met. No, we met. And there's remember the unidentified person too that she, I don't know why they didn't release that video. The unidentified person that she met with. Why not release the video? Deep hackers wiped my identity, stole all my funds, and had me on a mindfuck since Friday. I'm just really scared. Love and the Redwoods is calling me. I know I'm meant to be there. I'm being guided there, like you have before. I risk all my freedom if this goes wrong for me, hun. She says here, I got tricked pretty much into giving away all my funds for someone I thought I loved. I've been on the streets. So she's not going to love that scammer guy. I don't know. Beat Tim. It might need to go undercover and attempt to contact that guy to get a reading. I wonder if we could, I don't know if we can find that guy's information. I suggest you wear Judge Bev as a disguise. It looks like Louisiana dress shop Mardi Gras. It looks like Louisiana dress shop Mardi Gras. So these are the two people on the Venmo account. Unreeled on November 9th, the day after she was meant to arrive in New York. She sent 2 Venmo payments to Veronica at 6:25, and then less than an hour to Jonathan. I wonder what's with the Veronica thing. What's up with that? Jonathan, Veronica. The aunt said, we have been made aware, and so have the LAPD. It's in their hands. We're focused on downtown LA. Even though it's been 15 days, we still have hope. Pigeon admitted she and the family fear she may have been taken out of California. We're also now encouraging people from across the nation to keep an eye in case she has been taken outside of California. We're looking at all the possibilities, hotels, metro, bus, train stations. The circumstances surrounding Hannah's disappearance are murky and made murkier still by the unaliving of the father that was found at the bottom of a parking lot. Okay, we know all the stuff. Sent the spiritual awakening texts, locations. The ex-boyfriend is cooperating with police. He continued to go to New York. The timeline. Okay. Very weird. Now, when she was at the Grove too, there was this video. I forgot who sent this to me on Discord. There was this video. Is it this one?
Where we go, this Apple store is absolutely nuts. The live trees, everything, the weird ceilings, probably one of the coolest things I've seen. Here's the LeBron James event. So here's the line to get.
Just call on camera.
Final, try out the new LeBron shoes, then you get to shoot for about 15 seconds, make some threes, layups, and see where you rank against the rest of the population that comes to it. To the store, they have decked out LeBron stuff. They got a DJ. We got like little things you can buy, like tray, shoe charms, laces, things like that. And of course, I had to get the shoe charms. They were nice.
Right there. She's right there on camera. Look to the right. Somebody was out there at the same event that she was at.
Probably one of the coolest places I've seen. Here's the LeBron James event. So here's the line to get in. You walk down the scene. Here's the LeBron James event.
There. The LeBron James Nike event. Dog bounty hunter.
15 days ago on her way to visiting her aunt in New York. Here's what we know. It was on Friday, November 8th. Hannah flew from Maui to Los Angeles and missed her connecting flight to New York. Saturday, November 9th, Hannah was seen at the Grove Shopping Mall. It's a popular mall in downtown LA where she went to a bookstore to charge her phone. Sunday, November 10th, Hannah went back to the Grove and was seen in the background of a video attending a LeBron James event. Then on Monday, the 11th, Hannah went back to the airport. And at some point, she sent some very concerning texts. She was saying that she was scared and had been tricked, quote, into giving away all my funds for someone I thought I loved. That same night, Hannah was reportedly seen leaving the airport with an unidentified person. But later that night, surveillance video, which has not been released, shows Hannah at a train station also with an unidentified person. I spoke to Hannah's aunt a few days ago about the video. Take a listen.
There's no reason that Hannah would go there unless she was misled, unless she was forced to, or unfortunately now we're thinking unless she was drugged. It made us extremely alarmed to the point where we started sounding the alarm as loud as we could.
What, after seeing the video, you mean?
Yes.
It's already such a sad situation, and now there's another twist to the story. Hannah's father, Ryan, who had gone to LA to search for his daughter, has taken his life. He was actually supposed to be on with me too and was feeling emotional, and now we find out that he has committed suicide. And now to here to help us make some sense of all of this is former FBI agent and News Nation Law and Justice contributor Jennifer Coffendorfer, and Dog the Bounty Hunter, who actually knows Hannah. It's good to see both of you. Jennifer, I want to start with you. You heard the aunt. She told me that they were disturbed by this surveillance video. The police showed the family surveillance video, but they haven't made the video public. But she didn't want to go into detail. She didn't want to interfere with the investigation. What do you think?
I think it's interesting that they don't want to show the video. Wonder why.
Think is going on here? What do you think that video might show?
Well, when you look at the timeline, there was always communication with the family. Her phone was always working. She actually took special steps to charge it to make sure it was working. But then on the 11th, the same time she's seen with this individual who's a stranger, and after some very cryptic messages came in, even mentioning deep state hackers, all of a sudden.
Oh, okay. That's the real Magnolia. I want to make sure because sometimes I get fake accounts pretending to be you, believe it or not. That is her. Okay, cool. So she said, I DM'd you a clip from the LAPD commissioner meeting yesterday. They believe she missed the flight intentionally / voluntarily missing, but note they're assisting the family in locating her. Interesting. Right. Let's see. Hold on.
We also have a missing person case that has gotten a lot of attention locally and nationally. On Friday, November 8th, 23-year-old Hana Kobayashi missed her connecting flight from LAX to New York, which the investigation determined was intentional. Over the next few days, she maintained contact with her family and was active on Instagram. However, the family last heard from Hannah on November 11th. After receiving concerning text messages and losing further contact, her family traveled to LA on November 13th and filed a missing person report. On November 15th, our missing persons unit assumed investigative responsibility. Detectives have been diligently reviewing video surveillance and employing various investigative techniques to locate Hannah, while her family has continued their personal search efforts. Tragically, on November 24th, during the search for his daughter, Hannah's father, Ryan Kobayashi, was found deceased. Preliminary findings indicate his death was by suicide. Our hearts go out to the Kobayashi family during this unimaginable time of grief. We remain fully committed to locating Hannah and supporting the family as they navigate their way through this tragedy.
Interesting. Thank you for that. was intentional, yeah. And Pineapple in the chat was saying, thank you for that. And, you guys did a good job with the interview. Crazy that you guys were able to talk to this person. I wonder if you guys are trying to get in contact with the other lady, Veronica. Somebody in the chat was saying she's in Texas, too. I don't know if that's true. Pineapple said that another streamer apparently showed text messages with a friend from like 11/11 that they were on this Signal app. And I read somewhere else she texted a friend via Signal. Not sure if the same friend or another friend. So Signal is supposed to be this app that kind of protects your information. I guess it's like a privacy thing. And so Pineapple said that she had started texting friends via Signal app before she went missing, which could be weird. Signal can be installed on another phone that is not Hannah's and still use Hannah's phone number. Really? Wow. The Grove is about 30 minutes from downtown. It's closer to WeHo.
She's missing. I think that piece of surveillance is critical, and I think she could be in the hands of a stranger taking advantage of her and the situation.
And Dog, you actually knew Hannah, which I kind of wondered about because you're from Hawaii. Hannah's from Hawaii. I know you've got a lot of connections there. What do you know about her?
Well, it wasn't me actually that knew. It was my daughter Cecily, and Hannah had spent the night 3 or 4 times with us in Oahu, in Honolulu, and then Hannah, moved on to Maui. But I agree with Jennifer 100%. We used to teach our real children there. We used to say stranger danger, and now it's getting into Hannah's 31 years old. All women beware. There are things happening, especially in California. There are things happening that are unbelievable. And, I think she was snatched. And one thing about it, I hope to God that she's still alive.
Yeah, I mean, we all do. Jennifer, just thinking the police haven't really said much. Dog says maybe she was snatched. You would think if that was the case, there would be press conferences. There would be flyers everywhere. They would be out every day saying, this is the description of who we think took her. We're not hearing much from police, Jennifer.
Well, the reason we're not hearing from them is because there is going to be video surveillance all over that airport, all over that subway station, all over these venues where she's been. So they're pouring all over that. Oftentimes when you see law enforcement reach out, it's because they don't have any more clues to go with. Law enforcement has a lot they're working with right now.
What do you make, Dog, some of the text messages that the family has said they received where she wrote, got tricked into pretty much giving away all my funds, deep hackers wiped my identity, stole all my funds, and have had me on a mind F since Friday? Do you think was drugged in that? I mean, why would she be is it her sending it, do you think?
Well, Cecily, my daughter, who knew her very good, there was no way. She might have smoked, in Hawaii, weed is called pakalolo. She might have smoked some pakalolo as she got older, but she was very...
Wait, hold on. What?
She might have, Cecily might be
sending, is it her sending it, do you think?
Well, Cecily, my daughter, who knew her very good, there was no way. She might have smoked, in Hawaii, weed is called pakalolo.
Oh, weed is called pakalolo. I don't know why I thought I heard peyote or whatever that thing is called.
She might have smoked some pakalolo as she got older, but she was very, very against drugs. And the text messages, Cecily said it doesn't sound like her. And it sounds like, I know a lot of ladies that join these dating places and then send money to the guy, and then he's not real. So
Wait, send money to the guy. I need to sign up to that shit. What? I thought I was the other way around.
I know a lot of ladies that join these dating places and then send money to the guy, and then he's not real. So I don't think that it was that. I think the text messages was not Hannah.
What do you make of the text, Jen?
Well, I agree. And I agree because of this. The family says they know her vernacular. Remember, in cases like Anna Knezevich, or, of course, Gabby Petito, where the family pointed out straight away, listen, this does not sound like anything that she would write. And that's what the family is saying here. It's not going with how she texts or her vernacular.
And what do you make, Jennifer? I mean, it's so tragic. I couldn't really believe it, but that the dad went to LA to help find her and then took his own life. I mean, how do you process that?
Well, he searched for 13 days, long and hard. And I can't imagine the grief that would overcome a father in this way. And so it seems to me that the motive would have been very clear, at least from his eyes, absolute despair and frustration. And you add on to that, Brian, and the family pointed this out. People not believing the family, people in social media actually going after the family, poo-pooing what they had to say, saying, oh, she's really not missing. She's just on some sort of venture or something like that. It was awful. And the family said, please don't talk like this. We're at a very vulnerable state. And then look what happened.
Do you think they're going to find her, dog? I mean, how do you think this is going to play out?
Well, I think they are going to find her. We have a new administration coming in, and there's going to be a lot of police officers, defunding the police, especially in California. I'm doing a thing later this week where I'm talking to the cops, and don't worry, things are going to get better. They don't even want to pull over traffic tickets, because if they put the guy in jail, they're out in 15 minutes. So the police officers' morale is very low. Again, after the new administration takes over, it's going to, I think, yes, we're going to find her. They're going to find her alive.
Hey, thanks for watching.
Okay. I feel like, I think she's going to be found alive too. I'm really just, and it could be something that, let's say she is found, you might not hear anything else again. You might not get the story. They might not tell you anything. I've covered a couple of stories multiple times, and it was females that, like, whatever situation. One lady, she was gone for several weeks. She came from North Florida to South Florida for some type of festival. I covered it multiple times. There's video of her at the festival. She looked twisted up. And she ended up, I found this little teensy bitty article after the story, because she was found, and then you didn't hear nothing else. Nothing from the family, nothing from the friends, nothing from the person that went missing. And there was this tiny little itty bitty article. And it was about the guy that she was with for 2 weeks in some warehouse shit. Like, I think he said he found her in the car, and then she came and stayed there, and I don't remember too much of it. Really weird. Let's see if I ever let me look at it. Let's see, visibility, members, Miami. Nah, I'd have to really look for it. I'm not saying that's what happened with this girl, but there was this other lady too that had some type of psychotic break. She was visiting from, I think, Las Vegas, and she came and stayed at a hotel in Miami, like a fancy hotel, and then she went missing. Was gone for like a couple days. I don't know where she turns up, and it looked like she had some type of psychosis thing, because when she went back to Vegas, I think we did a members live. She was streaming on Instagram, and she was inside of her car with the windows rolled up, car on, cops banging on, hey, come out of the car, come out of the car. She's like screaming, no! Eventually they got her out. We never heard from her again. Sometimes if there's some type of situation, we might not even, if they find her and she's safe and alive, we might not even ever find out really what happened. That could be a thing. This was a couple days ago. I'm not going to read it because we already read this with Steve, but apparently they were reading his post, and he doesn't think she was trafficked, and there's not proof to show that, but some of the people were commenting and talking about that. Hannah's sister posted on TikTok that their family has no idea who this private investigator is or who he's claiming to be, and somebody else had said So this is based on professional instinct, but he is not actively working on this case with the FBI or LAPD. I get that he is a professional. However, I do not see how he could have access to information that actual detectives have in this case. All right, whatever. But yeah, people don't whatever agree. But at the same time, we just saw that commissioner hearing that they had, and they said, she went voluntarily. But like I've said, that doesn't mean something bad can't happen to her while she's roaming the streets of Cali, roaming the streets of Skid Row or LA, and they see somebody that's vulnerable. I mean, imagine this lady walking through here. This is a live camera, by the way, at night. I wonder how this guy, I guess he has cameras set up everywhere. And trying to find herself and some spiritual healing. Imagine the kind of people she would encounter. This was a post on Facebook too from a couple days ago. There's a girl who came into my store last night in SoCal who was from Hawaii. She seemed like a street person at first, but I talked to her or with her for about 5 minutes, then gave her water. She said that she was from Hawaii and was trying to get back to LA. She talked to the cops. They gave her some money. At first, I didn't think it was her until I looked at her IG, and all the photos they're posting of her are outdated. She was having paranoid issues, like the FBI and CIA are coming for her. She kept saying she was being taught a lesson, and once the lesson was over, her dad would let her go back home. Interesting. She also said she was going to inherit a lot of money and plans to do good with it and start her charities. I don't know if it was her, but it's just so odd that there's so many similarities in the story. She said her middle name was Chloe, and that's why she came into my store. I don't know the right wording or diagnosis, but she was either on something or having a mental breakdown. I felt awful. My coworker then came out to tell me that girl from Hawaii went missing at LAX last week, but we're 2 hours away. I don't know. Just who knows if this is the actual person or not. And that's all I have on Hannah. I have some other stories we can go over. We'll keep an eye on Hannah because I'm very curious to know what the outcome is going to be. And then this whole process, her father is deceased now. And she's just out there looking to find herself. Is she going through some mental problem? I mean, I haven't heard anything. Her friends say, her family say that she had any kind of issues. The woke mind virus. Susan says, I know Dog personally. We're both from Pampa, Texas. My dad was a cop. I know a lot about him. Oh, interesting. She could, anybody, if she's really going through whatever she's going through, I mean, I don't know what she's going through. She's going through something. It would be very easy for anybody to take advantage of her in California. And somebody looking for spiritual healing, spiritual awakening. So, a little bit of an update with this cop that shot the sheriff. Or, sorry, the sheriff that shot the judge. I was thinking of the song. I shot the sheriff. Kind of interesting new details.
Well, no one's denying that he's the shooter. The defense calls it a moment of extreme emotional disturbance and says murder is the wrong charge. They won't even concede to manslaughter. I want to bring in News Nation investigative producer Allison Weiner. So great to have you here. I know you've been digging into this, Allison. All right, the grand jury indictment was just a few days ago. Stine said not guilty. That was his plea yesterday, but neither sheds any light on the $1 million question. Why? Why did this happen? What do we know?
Well, we now still don't know exactly why it happened, but I think the defense did give us a little bit of insight, pointing to the fact that a deposition that the sheriff had given just days before the shooting would be part of the defense. Plus, extreme emotional distress. You can see where we're heading with this. I mean, it's going to be an insanity defense of some sort, which means also that the defense is looking at he didn't plan to go in there and shoot the judge. Which again begs the question, then why did he? So I have to say that the people I talk to are confused. They know both men. Everybody knows everybody. When I was in Kentucky and I was in Whitesburg where the shooting happened, and I went, just sort of all over, they all professed to be in shock. They didn't understand why. But I think that we're beginning.
Yeah. Southern. The video of him and his daughter saying "I shot the sheriff" was so cringe. Yeah, there's literally a video of this guy, the sheriff that shot the judge, him and his daughter saying "I shot the sheriff."
Need to see a little bit of details coming out. Not the stuff that you're seeing on Twitter or on social media, because everybody has an opinion about what the reason was, but some actual information I got from sources while I was there.
Yeah, I imagine you said everybody knows everybody, and it must be so weird for everybody to see their sheriff.
Yeah, it's like this. I guess it's like a small town, and everybody knows everybody.
In jail garb and handcuffs.
And literally, the judge that he killed would have been the judge had he killed somebody else on his case, I think.
And coming in, what did you find out about the sheriff's family situation right before the shooting, and how that might be a factor? Because I know that you found out some good information here. So what do we know?
Well, it's really interesting, but several sources said that the sheriff was was kicked out of his home by his wife. They had some sort of a dispute.
Right.
So there's one. Supposedly, because the rumors were that there's something. The rumors were that the cop's daughter was talking to the judge, and people were like, "Oh, maybe they had some type of relationship or something," and that this guy found out because this guy was eating lunch with the judge, but with a group of people as well. And then the cop starts bringing it up, and he's like, well, let's talk about this privately. So let's go to my chambers. And so when he goes to the chambers, he calls the daughter. Daughter doesn't answer on his phone. And so then he takes the judge's phone and calls the daughter, and then she answers. And that's when he snaps him and shoots this guy.
Sure. The night before the shooting. And
so the night before the shooting, we didn't know that. I didn't know that. They got into this major fight. This guy, the cop, and his wife.
That was the reason that he was in plain clothes, because he wasn't able to have a uniform wherever he was, and that he showed up. When you see him in the judge's chambers, he's not wearing his sheriff's outfit, or sheriff's uniform, I should say. We also know that the sheriff on the day of the shooting had a lunch with the judge. And what gets left out of that story is the fact that there were other people at that lunch. And the sheriff attempted to bring up some subject. The judge stopped him and said, let's talk about it in chambers. Come by after lunch. The sheriff then, we know about his movements, at some point went to see his daughter, and she didn't want to talk to him.
So something was happening in that household with the wife. Wife didn't want to talk to this guy, kicked his ass out. I don't know what happened. And his own daughter did not want to talk to him, refusing. Something was going on in that household. And so I don't know, what's the judge's involvement. I don't know if he was just trying to help, because they were friends. I don't know, was he just trying to help the family, consoling them or something, or I don't know.
So he then drove to the courthouse and he went to see the judge. And we do know from the facts that, from what has been released, that we know so far, that he picked up the phone and tried to call his daughter from the judge's chambers. She didn't answer. Then he used the judge's phone and she answered. So we have a situation where the sheriff had, domestic issues at home. Clearly, he was kicked out of his house. There's been some dispute from different sources about when it happened, but my sources are saying it was that night before the actual shooting. And he was in a great deal of distress.
Allison, I want to go back to that lunch. The other people that were there that saw these two men eating a meal together, breaking bread. Did anybody say, was it heated? Was it strained? Did it seem normal?
They said it seemed normal. I asked some of the people that were there. They said it seemed normal. There was no sign of anything. But what we're hearing, about the sheriff's demeanor is a little odd. Not from that lunch, but from the deposition. I mean, that's why the defense is looking that way.
All right. So what about this pending civil case against the sheriff? How is that possibly related? Do we know anything more about that case?
We know a lot, and that's kind of where everything's going.
Okay.
The civil lawsuit, it's a civil rights lawsuit that was filed by a plaintiff who alleged that the sheriff knew or should have known that she was being, sexually assaulted by one of his deputies. And that he actually, the lawsuit says that he didn't properly train. He's accused of not properly training that deputy. and the deputy was trading, preferential treatment for sexual favors. And basically, we're talking about women who are in have drug offenses and are trying to get into rehab, not go to jail. And it's all based on one person who is in charge of their ankle bracelet if they get home detention, who can make a phone call and the next minute they're in jail. So it's kind of a terrible situation.
Thanks for watching. Go to
that story is starting to kind of unravel a bit. Debbie said he snapped. The case was being held against him for allowing cops to have sex with defendants. And there's something with the judge, too. I thought I heard it was in the judge's chamber. I don't know if it was after hours or not. And Debbie says that his hearing was coming up that week. So, I don't know. Cop had issues with his family, issues with the wife, issues with the daughter, and took it out on this judge. There's a long video, but I don't want to play this whole thing. It's like 43 minutes. Just skim through a little bit.
That's the closest we've gotten to a direct answer to this question. Ned Pillersdorf, he mentioned specifically the timing, the deposition. That deposition was at your law firm, right?
It was.
So from your perspective, what's happening in that moment? How is he acting? And what do you think he could be referring to, which is this larger story?
Yeah, to put this in perspective, we had filed the lawsuit on behalf of...
Oh, this is the guy that, represents women suing Sean Stines. So this is the attorney for that civil thing we're just talking about.
Of two women who Judge Mullins' bailiff sexually extorted. And the way that happened was, if you're on an ankle bracelet or in a drug court, in Kentucky, you're very vulnerable to sexual exploitation. And what we alleged was that the bailiff basically said, you don't have to pay your $250 this month if you'll go into chambers with me and perform some sexual
in the chambers
acts. And we sued Sheriff Stines on the theory that he knew or should have known that this sexual exploitation of these vulnerable women was going on. On the Monday, we took Sheriff Stines' deposition. He was acting odd, tense, whatever word you want to use. And the best way I've tried to explain it to people, if you watch that bizarre initial appearance by Sheriff Stines, where he was asked direct questions by the judge, a couple times he didn't respond at all, or he just almost seemed to be in a daze. I thought there was something going on. The deposition was Monday. On Thursday, when I heard the shocking, unbelievable news that Stines had shot the judge, my first thought was, is this related to the lawsuit? As you said, Vinny, this is not a who did it. This is why did he do it? And after that comment today was made by the defense attorney, I think I've had the national media call me, have any idea what he's talking about? I'm not sure. A number of people have asked me, Ned, do you think it was related to your civil lawsuit? And I've had people come up and tell me it was absolutely related. I've had people tell me it was totally unrelated. And I've had people say it was semi-related. Now, of course, in situations like this where there isn't anybody on the streets of Whitesburg or Letcher County not talking about the case, a lot of people are talking who don't know what's going on. The people who do know what's going on aren't really talking. And I guess today his defense attorney apparently linked my lawsuit to the case. Now that can cut, a number of different ways. The lawsuit was almost a frontal assault on the Letcher County Courthouse. I early on told NBC News that they turned that courthouse, the sheriff's department, into a brothel. It wasn't just one woman they were exploiting, it was a number of women. And, maybe that statement maybe was over the top, but There's something going on there where women were being exploited. And, one of the reasons I have been talking to the media, the reality is if you walk into a Kentucky courtroom today, what you will see is something I didn't see when I started practicing law in Kentucky 43 years ago. You will see women charged with drug charges, probably half my criminal practice. And what has happened, the good news is we've had a wonderful expansion of drug courts and women in drug courts, ankle bracelet programs. But what's not really talked about, and what this case illustrates, how vulnerable these women are to sexual exploitation.
Right. I'm going to check out this full thing one of these days, maybe later today. And then next time I do an update, I'll just skim through it. I don't want to play the full 40 minutes. There is a story too. Let me just check because I didn't have time to check this morning. I saw this last night about this Florida 7-year-old that has autism. Charlie ran north on Stillwater Avenue around 8 p.m. I wonder if he was found or what the deal is with this. I mean, they don't have his full name here. I'd like to have his full name if possible. Let me check the next few. Damn. Anthony Pezza. No update. I guess he's still missing. Lost child, city of Delton, Florida. 7-year-old who has autism. Charlie ran north on Stillwater Avenue, Deltona. He was wearing a black t-shirt, white shorts. Nonverbal and maybe attracted to Christmas lights as well as bodies of water. And that's always the problem sometimes with autistic kids. They're attracted to water. They've been searching this area. Please call 911 if you see him. We have canines on the ground assisting. Additional foot traffic may be in the area. Okay. Okay, the update on the 26th. No updates at this time. We're saddened to report, they recovered the body. Oh, man. Charlie's body from the water. I feel like we've covered stories like this so many times, or at least a couple of times, where these kids, they get out. It's kind of hard sometimes because, my cousin is autistic, and he used to sometimes just run out of the house. Just be all over the place. They just run out. You turn your head and they're gone. And so I guess now they're saying he's deceased. Okay, that's unfortunate. All right. Some of the other just random news topics that I was running into that I wanted to share. Butterball, which is a company for like meat and stuff like that, facing boycott calls after sickening video of workers allegedly essaying torturing turkeys. There was a video that I saw the other day. I didn't get to watch the whole thing. Not that I really want to see that, but I don't think I could even play it. But it was crazy. It's on Twitter. And PETA posted the video. Butterball is facing calls for boycott just days before Thanksgiving after sickening footage of poultry workers essaying and torturing turkeys. The graphic footage. Let me just make sure I don't know what they're. Okay, it's blurry. Can't see it. It's blurry. Okay. So, the graphic footage went viral, was captured during an undercover probe in 2006 in which workers were filmed bashing the birds against steel cages, stomping on their heads. A PETA undercover investigator alleged the clip that he caught one of the workers inserting his finger into the turkey's private area for fun, sick people, while another employee apparently humped the bird while it was shackled. One worker took a live bird and stomped on her head, crushing her skull until her head exploded, and then he laughed and wiped the blood from his leg. He also threw birds against the concrete and punched others. That's crazy. The video quickly triggered an outpouring of outrage when it resurfaced online, with some calling for a boycott of poultry brand Butterball. So, pretty nasty. I think sometimes these individuals, I don't know if they become desensitized or something in that line of work. Let me see if I can find the audio to that video they released. Let's see.
Shackled turkey one day, and another time, another worker was putting his fingers in a turkey's cloaca, which is basically her vagina, while the line was stopped. Some workers even bragged about their abuse.
His effing eyeball popped out.
When people go to the grocery store and they see Butterball or other turkeys all wrapped up in plastic, they just don't know what happens to the birds before they end up in the meat case. I mean, how could they? These dark plants are kept away from main roads and certainly not.
You really got to wonder about these people too, you know, that have like just enjoy doing shit like that. Isn't it borderline like some of these killers do, or like demented people? I guess they're just void of, and that just maybe being in that line of work, you just become so desensitized.
Not shown on TV. I went into this Butterball House of Horrors to show people what the company never will. If even one person sees this video and stops eating birds, it'll be worth it.
It's a really short video, but that's one of the big things that's popping. I saw something else too yesterday, I think. Gardener savagely beaten while watering her plants because she didn't say good morning to the vicious passerby. That's what's happening nowadays. That's why I say, like, be careful out there, watch yourself. Like, I mean, people are just insane. A violent purpose caught on camera savagely beating a Massachusetts woman who was watering her plants because she didn't say good morning to him. Ian Atkinson, 34, was found guilty on Monday after he brutally attacked a 59-year-old, of course, attacking an elderly person, right? 59-year-old victim. And not just an elderly person, but an elderly woman. Coward. In Dorchester in July last year, a prosecutor said when people say good morning, you should say it hi. Wait. Oh, prosecutor said, okay. When people say good morning, you should say hi, you crazy beat, said Atkinson. He told the victim as he walked by her as she was watering her garden. Look at this guy. Atkinson quickly erupted when the victim pulled out her cell phone and started recording him. Oh, shit. So he got triggered. A nearby surveillance camera captured the brute repeatedly slugging the woman in the face before violently throwing her against the fence. Atkinson only stopped the attack when the victim bit him. Wow, okay. He then jumped in his nearby SUV and almost struck her as he fled. The victim, who was bleeding profusely from her nose when cops arrived, was treated in the hospital for a broken nose, contusions to her head and face, and broken blood vessel in her left eye. He was wearing a GPS monitoring device at the time of the attack, was arrested just days later after the victim gave cops his license number, and he raised $100,000 in a GoFundMe. He was released, and the victim was forced to apologize. I'm just kidding. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the outcome, but he was sentenced to 2 years in state prison, followed by 2 years of probation. Okay, and he waived his right to a jury trial. That's what happened with, I forgot what case was that recently, that they waived their right to a jury trial. I don't like that either when you say hi to somebody or like good morning, like being friendly and they don't say it back, but no, I'm not going to snap, bro. Like, salty gunman sentenced for shooting stranger in the face after he refused to share his potato chips at a strip club. This person will spend at least 9 years behind bars for shooting a stranger in the face after he refused to share his potato chips at an Ohio strip club. Imagine that, right? You're in the club having drinks and shit. I don't think I've ever had chips at a strip club. I don't think I've even eaten at a strip club, but you're eating there with your chips and stuff, and somebody wants to borrow. Hey, man, can I have some chips, bro? Person said no and got shot. Oh, no, his name is Melvin Wright Jr., 43 years old, was sentenced to 9 to 12 years in prison after pleading guilty to an attempted murder and other unrelated charges from November 28, 2023. Non-fatal shooting. Oh, Jesus. 9 to 12 years. As if he's going to come back out and be rehabilitated and, assimilate back with society. Like just coming for over potato chips. Bro. Wow. crazed perp approached a 31-year-old victim inside of Lusty Adventure, a strip club in Akron, around 9 p.m. and asked for some of his chips. I can't talk, sorry. Some of his chips. The victim was not known to the gunman and declined. The snack-loving maniac, the person that wrote this, the snack-loving maniac then followed the victim to his car and shot him in the face. The victim drove himself to the hospital and survived the shooting following 6 days of treatment. Okay. Snack-loving maniac. Jesus. Okay, so this was some drama that happened. I don't know if this is drama. This is messed up. New York. I couldn't imagine having to ride the trains now, the way New York is. Lakin Riley case. Thank you, Anna. Yeah. He did not have a jury trial. He didn't want a jury. This guy was attacked on a New York City train.
So I got on the subway at 59th Street in Brooklyn. No, 36th Street in Brooklyn. And just sat down. Regular day. Have my ear pods in. Just listening to the news. And after a while, like, this guy starts talking to me. So I take out my ear pods, like, to see what he wants. Apparently, I sat down too close to him for his liking. And he started being aggressive. I told him, like, dude, just chill. It's 8:30 in the morning. Nobody wants to fight. Just chill out. And he was being, like, even more aggressive. He was like, make me chill. Just relax. And then he just slugged me. And then we got into, like, a physical struggle. I wrestled him to the ground. Got on top of him. And held his wrists until the police came at Atlantic. The craziest part was that once I wrestled him down, I think the people that saw it start ran away to the other side of the train car. And the people that didn't see it start, they started helping him.
No way! New York! I'm a Sarasota to New York! We gotta help the criminal. Oh, he attacked you unprovoked? Let's help the criminal. But I guess to be fair, these people came in and didn't know what was going on, I guess. And they assumed that the perpetrator was this guy when he was actually the victim. New York! The best city ever. So they started attacking the victim. Amazing.
Right, like, they started trying to pull me off of him. And then he started saying, like, he can't breathe.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Like,
Jesus.
Give him some water. People started giving him water. You know, that literally made me upset.
So they start treating the perpetrator, the attacker. Here's some water. Here's some snacks.
And obviously, in light of being
yeah, that's so wild.
Any thoughts about that? Like, you made sure, like, not to grab his neck, or?
Okay, the one got canceled.
Listen, to be honest, like, when you're in the middle of a fight,
I'm just trying to survive. Let me be careful about his neck. Or let me be careful how I touch his, I don't know, his wrist. Or let me not sprain his leg or something. Meanwhile, this guy could kill me and I'm trying to restrain him.
Fighting for your life, you're not thinking about what's going on in the news, right? I just wanted
Did you de-escalate?
to hold him and just protect myself. But there was no way I was going to let go. Like, once my hands locked on his wrists, it was either the hand of God or a hand of a police officer coming that was going to take him off. That's it. People literally tried to pull me off, and I said no.
What started out as just an average Monday morning commute for Alex Rakuten turned into anything but.
Sorry, this is the video.
Tells Eyewitness News he was on the N train heading to work when the man sitting next to him became upset.
He's being aggressive that apparently I sat too close to him. I told him, dude, just chill out. Like, just chill. It's 8:30 in the morning. Just going to work. Nobody needs this. Just chill out. And he just escalated.
A video from a witness shows the man, who has now been identified as Timothy Barbie, then hit Rakuten.
So he gives him like a slap right here. I guess he kind of punched him, but he gave him like a slap or something.
Sending his glasses flying. The video may have stopped here, but the confrontation continued. Rakuten pinned Barbie to the ground until the cops came.
I don't know what's going on in his head. I don't know what his motivation is. So I knew that I'm fighting for my life.
Yeah, good on this guy for defending himself. Because you almost can't even defend yourself anymore because they're going to catch you with charges. Look at the guy, Daniel Penny. They're going to catch yourself with charges. They're going to lock you up, arrest you. They don't give the citizens watching. They're going to assist the criminal and provide him with water and shit after this person attacked you. It's just so crazy. Oh my God. So crazy. Katrina, thank you for the 46 months. Holy moly. Happy Thanksgiving, Mel and chat. Enjoy your turkey. Thank you. We got to catch up a little bit too. The holidays. Charisma, thank you for the 34 months. Oh, geez. Thanks for the great show, Mel. Thanks, bots. Thank you. And Storm, thank you so much for the 3 months. Happy Thanksgiving to my American friends. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you. Be careful, man. This made me think of too, because I remember when I went and got my conceal permit, even though you don't need a permit apparently anymore, but I just wanted to go learn and know a little bit of the basics and some of the law and stuff. Really nice guy, but this guy was telling me that, like, he said, don't go out there like trying to be a hero. Like, you need to be really careful, because he was telling me, like, what if you see a situation going down of somebody, shooting at somebody, let's just say, for example, and the person that's shooting is actually defending themselves, and then you go and shoot that person, without knowing the situation. You can get yourself into some really, really messed up type of thing. You gotta be really, really cautious about that. And so how these people ran in there, I mean, I guess it's good to try to break up the fight or something, but, like, I don't know, they ran in there and they literally started almost attacking the victim and helping out the criminal and providing him with substance. Here's some water, here's some snacks. How can we take care of you? Let me lift your leg up. Let's carry you out of here. And then those people will probably be the witness. Oh, we saw this guy attacking him, but that's not the full story. The DeKalb County live, 2 officers shot. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, 2 officers shot in Atlanta. Okay, let's see. Maybe we can start on your live. Oh, yeah.
Again, a mostly residential space, so you're not talking about any heavy traffic impact or any impact to many main roads, excuse me. But still a concern for many residents and businesses in this area, as now we're seeing not only a heavy police presence when, understandably, when 2 officers are shot, you expect to see this type of response, but also now still working to learn when they can go back into their homes, if they are in the impacted building, when their community will be cleared of this influx of officers, and for their own community safety. I mean, you're talking about families, you're talking about children, and the concern that we see from some of these residents now. On your left, you could see looking onward and just trying to piece together what exactly
make myself a little smaller here.
Has led up to this. I'm sure word has gotten around by now that there have been officers that were shot at that far left DeKalb apartment building, but not a lot of information. As we spoke to one resident, said they're not getting a lot of information. They're learning just as much as they can from visual, seeing what's going on, but they're not getting any updates from officers. We are expecting to get an update during a news conference.
I'm gonna make a little thumbnail. I'll move everybody over. Yeah, shootings live coverage. Yes, happening now. We haven't been given
an exact timeline, so really we're on standby to get you additional details. The big question that everybody has is with the concern of the injured officers and how they're doing. We do know that those officers were taken to Grady Hospital. We don't know the extent of their injuries, just that they had been shot. So again, a lot of questions that we will ask during that news conference and get you answers and recap for you. I am reading through all of your comments if you are joining us on YouTube Live, so keep those coming. And we are also talking with the investigators that are responding to the scene. All parts of our newsroom right now on this story are Atlanta News First reporters Yasmina Alston and Adam Murphy. We're on the ground kind of assessing the situation. We have Yasmina in Decatur and Adam outside of Grady Hospital, so we're working to get you more information from the ground. Also, our Atlanta News First newsroom here working to talk to some of these investigators and officials and see what we can learn on those sides, as well as the community members that are impacted by this the most.
Cap County. All right, I'm going to set up a new stream and redirect everybody in a second here. Thank you, everybody, for hitting me up. I got a phone call, too, about it. Boom, boom. Okay, so I'm working on this, and then I'll work on finding more information about what happened. It's the holidays, man. I thought everybody is supposed to be loving, caring, what you're thankful for, appreciation, love, kindness, respect, community, decency.
They might be nice to you. Well, because they know 6 months.
An important part of all this, we are bringing you live coverage on Atlanta News First Plus. Again, I'm stepping away to check in with our assignment desk, our reporters, and kind of get you any new information that we might get into our newsroom. But we are also bringing you live coverage on AtlantaNewsFirst.com. If you wanted to read through the live updates, we have a live blog for you, kind of
what happened to the holiday spirit?
Everything that's going on that we are able to confirm for you. The big
Nothing.
Takeaway, just to
People don't care. Doesn't matter, I guess.
Is that we are waiting to find out the conditions of these 2 officers. We know 2 officers were shot just after 11:30 this morning, and that prompted a massive police response to this area along Waldrop Cove. The Waldrop Cove apartment complex, actually in Decatur. You might recognize it mostly as the Panthersville neighborhood.
All right, I'm going to move you guys over right now. In case the transfer doesn't work, I'll put the link in the chat in case it doesn't work. It should work, but in case it doesn't work, it's in the chat. Okay, let's check out what's going on. I'll still go through the stories that I saved as well once this is over. But for now, let's cover this breaking story in the meantime. 2 cops shot. Boom, 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 boom.